Hearing is scheduled for a judge who is accused of improper conduct both inside and outside of the courtroom.
I don't believe I fit the mold that people who consider themselves judges think that I should fit.
She took the bench in January 2007. Now Elizabeth Halverson, who gets around with a motorized scooter and breathes with help from an oxygen tank, is accused by authorities of sleeping during trials and mistreating staff.
We heard stories about the court clerk had been demeaned in some way regarding her religion. And so these things sort of started piling up, and it started causing a concern for the court.
Among the many allegations against her, a former bailiff was forced to heat and serve her lunch, brush lint from her robe, help her put on her shoes, massage her neck, and cover her with a blanket before her nap. Also, Halverson is said to have hired her own bodyguards without notifying court officials and caused controversy by speaking with jurors outside the presence of attorneys. But do mistakes equal misconduct?
People can make mistakes. That's not misconduct. People can do things that are unintentional. That's not misconduct. People can end up having illness affect them. That's not misconduct.
Halverson is set to appear before a 7-member disciplinary board today. It will be up to the panel to determine whether she's allowed to scoot her way back onto the bench. Joining us now from Las Vegas is Beth Karras, senior reporter for True TV. Good morning, Beth.
Good morning, Maggie.
This is a wild one. You heard her attorney say that, yes, she may be misbehaving, but this is not judicial misconduct. How do you think they'll support that argument?
Well, you know, the same panel heard evidence, some of the same evidence, a year ago in July 2007, and they suspended her. It was an interim suspension. She has not been able to handle any cases. She's been getting paid, and now there are these formal charges being filed. So they felt it was egregious enough for her not to have a caseload, at least for the past year.
Has she ever responded to any of the allegations against her?
Yes, and she has a response for all of the allegations regarding the massaging of her neck and shoulders by her bailiff. She said at one point she told him not to get too familiar with her, that it was him who was initiating it, at least the way it sounded. Regarding, say, heating up her food, she said he was concerned about me and told me I should eat. These are some of the things she has used as explanations in the past.
So what do you predict will happen? When do you think this will all be settled?
Well, I'll tell you, there are a lot of witnesses to be called on both sides, but the panel is limiting this hearing to just this week. So the lawyers on both sides, there's a special prosecutor and Halverson has her own lawyer, they've had to curb their evidence. And as Halverson's lawyer says, this is going to be trial by stopwatch. They are not going to be able to do the extensive cross-examinations they want to do or direct examinations of the witnesses. They have to cut certain witnesses out because the commission only meets certain times of the year, and they don't meet again until November. So they've got to hear everything this week. So it's going to look sort of like a trial, but it's not in a courtroom.
Beth Karras in Las Vegas. Thank you, Beth.
Pleasure.